Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sutton's Days. Okay, very exciting today. Well, we're going to make some chicken broth. Remember last week we did some chicken soup from the rotisserie chickens, and it turned out so good. Okay, the Instant Pot's on. And we had the leftover bones and all that fun stuff. And so we're going to make some bone broth from that chicken, all the scraps. I put in 2 carrots. I don't cut them up. I just put them in there. It does the same thing, okay? Because that's what I had. I'm going to dump that bag of chicken stuff in there. I filled the pot to the halfway mark, and then I left room for all the stuff that I'm adding, okay? I've got some onion, my Thrive onion, because, well, that's what I have. And that's going in there. And I'm going to set this on 2 hours, okay? And I'm doing it in the Instant Pot today. Bone broth is amazing. It's so good. And I am looking forward to having this back on my shelves again. I go through it quite a lot. I use it for making soups. I use it for making gravies. I use it to drink. It's all good. So we are going to put this on high pressure, okay? I'm going to reduce that time down to 2 minutes. Or 2 minutes. 2 hours. Thank you. And we are going to pressure cook those bones for 2 hours in the Instant Pot. If you don't have an Instant Pot, no harm, no foul, you guys. Grab yourself a big stock pot, okay? Put all the fixings in that. Put it on a very low heat on your stove, okay? And do it that way. Or you can do it in a roasting pan. Do that, overnight. Normally, they like to see 12 to 24 to 48 hours. It really depends on you and how much, what you're working with. With the Instant Pot and the pressure, or if you have a pressure cooker is a beautiful way to do it because it does it quickly. And what it does is it draws out all of that really delicious, scrumptious stuff that is in the bones that makes it so good for us. So we have that on. We will be back when this is done, and we will start canning up some chicken bone broth with our Forjars lids. Oh my gosh. And we are back. Yes, we are. So we let it completely depressurize on its own because, well, I was busy. And now we are going to take that out. Oh, it smells like such great chicken. I love it. Okay, and we're going to take this big pot and we're going to pour it into a strainer that's in a bowl. Let me bring you down. Wah, 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 wah. Don't you love the side effects? Sound effects? Side effects? God, getting old. Okay, so sound effects. And we're going to pour this into... Oh, yeah. Now, you notice I didn't add a lot of spices or anything. Just a carrot and some onions. There we go. Look at that. Okay, let's see if I can pull this off. You can do it, Lisa. Yes, you can. Okay, because now we're going to take... Oh, yes. Okay. Got all that good stuff. Oh, look at that bowl of delicious broth. Now, because the skin and all that stuff was in there, there's a fair amount of fat in there. And so I'm going to take this out into the garage, into our refrigerator in the garage. I'm going to put it in there for a couple hours. And we're going to let some of that fat congeal so I can skim it off. I'm just going to do it because I know there's a whole bunch. I had a lot of skin in there. So I know there's a whole bunch of fat, and I don't necessarily want all of it. Do you have to do that? No, you don't. I personally believe the fat is where the flavor is. So I am not real emphatic about getting all of the fat out of the broth. I just don't care that much. There are other things in this world to care about. So... but I don't want a whole bunch. So I'm going to put it in there for a couple hours, see how much I can skim out, and then we'll start putting it into jars. It's going to be amazing. It smells so good. It's been a couple hours. This is all that I got. Just that little bit right there. So honestly, I'm just going to put it in the jars the way it is. And it will end up having a fat cap on it. But like I said, no harm, no foul. It will be good. It is good. And I will enjoy it. But I don't have the time due to some scheduling to let it sit overnight. So I'm going to get this jarred up. Yeah, let's do this. We're going to bring you down here for the fill up. So we are going to fill these up to an inch headspace. Okay, and look at that beautiful mom's mason jar. Yeah, I'm so excited about that. I love these jars. And so I do put them into rotation because I love them. Now, if there's little bits, little pieces, that's fine, that's normal. And it's not a bad thing, you know, if you have bone broth that you're putting up. If you want to go that extra mile to make it 100% clear, then you can do that by straining it through a cheesecloth, because that will definitely catch any of the little bits and pieces of meat that might be in there. Okay, but I like them. I think they're good. I think it's going to be wonderful. So this broth, actually, for being in there for a couple hours, did not cool down a whole lot. So I am good here. Now I'm going to put a link down below to the National Center for Home Food Preservation so that you can check out all of that really great information. But let me get these jars filled up and we'll be back. One thing that I thought I might mention, because I'm sure some of you guys are going to ask me about it. If you look at the National Center for Home Food Preservation, their directions go all the way up until this point, right along with what I'm doing. They take the bone broth afterwards and bring it back up to a boil before they fill the jars, okay? I am not, because it didn't cool down that much, so I am comfortable with being able to do this. If you take it out of a refrigerator, it is best practice to bring it back up to a boil so that it's hot broth. I am putting this hot broth, it's not boiling, but it's hot. Like, I could comfortably drink this and not be disappointed. So I'm going to put this into a canner that has hot water in it. So I'm not going to be dealing with any thermal shock or anything like that. And I believe that the temperature is good for getting it to where it needs to be for the time. That's a decision you have to make. Would I put it, if I sat it overnight, I would not do this. I would bring it back up. I'd heat it back up again and then fill the jars, okay? But this is literally, this is a nice, comfortable, warm broth that is palatable right now with the temperature it is. So it was super hot when it went in the fridge, and unfortunately my schedule is preventing me from letting it sit overnight, so I'm canning it up now. Yeah, see, there's still some steam coming off of this. 1 inch headspace, always 1 inch headspace. Always refer to the National Center for Home Food Preservation, you guys, because that is the best how-to that I can possibly give you. Now we're going to clean these rims. As always, when I do anything that has meat or fat, I use vinegar to clean the rims. Totally up to you. You can use vinegar or water. I like the extra precaution that the vinegar gives me, okay? And there we go. So good. I am going to enjoy sipping this during these cold, damp spring days that we have. It's just a total feel-good thing to have on your shelves, which again is why I'm putting it in pints instead of quarts, because I will sip on this. That's what this is for. As I have been promoting all year long, we are using Forjars canning lids. Love these lids. These are a quality lid. They're a great compound. They have that little lip. They have the button that we're all so familiar with. I have not had issues with these at all. Superb quality, excellent customer service. I am very happy with them. If you are interested in stocking up on your lids, which I highly encourage you to do, because this is not going to get better anytime soon. So get them now before the canning season goes absolutely crazy. And stock up for a year, stock up for 2. If you really want to be on top of it and your budget can take it, stock up for 3. There's a discount code down below. If you put in the code SuttonsDaze, be sure to check the description box below and go to forjars.shop. Then you can get 10% off. And it works out beautifully. If you use that. It'll cover the shipping. If you go over $60, you get free shipping. So it's like having a bonus. It's all really great. So go check out their website if you are interested in stocking up on your lids, which again, I highly encourage. I am getting to the bottom of my bungee cord for rings, and so some of these are starting to look a little rough. Okay, we're going to put these on finger tight. And best way to do that, I think we discovered last time, the best visual is just literally use 2 fingers, okay? Don't crank, just use 2 fingers until it stops moving, and then you are done. You are finger tight. So we're going to take that and we're going to put it into the canner with the hot water. And then we're going to do that again. Now, if your rings start looking like this, right, less than awesome, they still work as long as they screw on the jar. I mean, I'm doing this with 2 fingers. It obviously can't be bad, right? Then they are good. So you want to utilize your tools as long as you can, because in this world, we don't know how much longer we're going to be able to get them. And you don't want to run out. So just because they're not pretty doesn't mean they're not good. It just means that they have really worked hard for you, okay? So we've got those on. We're going to finish filling this canner. There we go. With this awesome broth. And then we are going to bring it up. When you can it, when you process it, you're processing it 20 minutes for pints and 25 minutes for quarts. And if we're lucky, we'll get to see the whole lava lamp episode. You guys are going to love it. When it comes out, it's so cool. Why do we go to all this trouble when you can go buy a box of it for like $1 or something? Because this is good. Because the best way to respect the animal is to use every piece and part that you can. And because I know what's in here. You know what's in here? Onion, carrot, and chicken bones. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so now we've got our jars in the canner. We're going to put the lid on. We're going to turn on the heat. We're going to bring it up until it vents a steady stream of steam. We have a steady stream of steam. Can you see it? Me neither. I miss the sun. Okay, but we can take a lid and we can tell that the steam's coming out. So we're going to set our timer for 10 minutes. Our 10 minutes is up. So now we're going to put on our weighted regulator, aka jiggler, okay? When that starts to move, we're going to adjust our heat so that it's not doing a super fast hula dance, just so that it's doing a nice, slow, even hula dance. Get it as close to a slow hula dance as you can. And then when it starts moving, we're going to set our timer for 20 minutes. Okay, so I set my timer for 20 minutes because it is rocking. And now I'm going to start turning down my heat because that is too fast, okay? So everybody's stove acts differently. Gas, electric, you name it. My thing is to make sure that I keep the gas on, okay? But I'm going to work at getting that down lower, and we're going to run this for 20 minutes. We'll be back when it's done. I am super excited about this. So, depressurize completely on its own. Let it sit for a few minutes. Now we're going to loosen the top. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And we are good. Okay, so now let's pull these bad boys out. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful. This is going to be that little bit of love on a wet, cold, rainy day when you just need something to warm up your soul. And because it's bone broth, it is super good for you. Very healthy. Mom's mason jars, look at that. There we go. And so, so good. Oh, yes. Look at that color. Okay, I'm totally digging this. So, as usual, I am super stoked about these Forjars lids. They did fantastic. These are bubbling and boiling. As they cool down, some people have mentioned that they see it does a lava lamp kind of thing. And sometimes the lids pop up, down, up, down. It's perfectly normal for broth for some reason. That's what happens when you're doing broth. So don't panic with it. Let them sit. Let them sit that 18 to 24 hours before you mess with them, okay? Don't do anything with the rings. Don't, move them. Don't do anything like that. Just let them sit. And, oh, yep, did you hear that? Let's see. This one just did that. The lid went down and then up. And it's something about broth. So I don't know why, but it all works out in the end, okay? These all will seal and they'll be beautiful. Let's see if we can get it to do it again. But they are, they're going to work over the next at least 10 hours to completely cool down. Oh, see, now that one, the lid completely went down. Oh, and it went back up again. Okay, so I don't know why. There's, yeah, it's something that happens with broth. And they're all going to sit here and sing for me for a little while. And I'm fine with that because they will still end up on my shelves. And they will be so good and so tasty and absolutely wonderful. The leftover stuff I added to a can of that chicken soup that I made last week. And put that all in a pot and added some rice. And that's what we had for dinner tonight. Oh my God. Just super soul comforting good food. Do you hear them? And so that's what they're doing. They're going up and down right now. Yep. You can sit there and watch them. But all's good. So all is good. Be sure not to move them. Don't mess with them. Don't freak out and you'll be fine. Okay, everybody. So this is how we make bone broth, chicken bone broth, using Forjars canning lids. Remember, there's a discount code down below. Stock up on your stuff now. Please, I implore you, please stock up on what you need now as prices get more and more out of whack and supplies are harder to get. You're going to want to make sure that you have what you need for you and yours for the next year or so, okay? So you can do it. You've got this. We've got this. And be safe.